was it? Just Pearly Things laughed at my cancer.
You should
Yeah, I remember when this nigga had cancer too, bro. I didn't know who he was at the time, but like I knew of him, bro, and like yeah.
Someone says that the dude with one nut. Yes, that's the dude with one nut. Yeah.
So MTL got one nut because of cancer and shit.
Stop, why would you do that?
Alright, I put up 75. I think I'll stop for now. Hey, thank you, Crampagne, bro. Hey, we gonna be set for the rest of the stream and shit. What, we got 14 more hours to go? Yeah, that's more than enough songs, bro. Hey, I appreciate it, bro.
Stop, why would you do that? Guys, as men in our society, we go.
I got one. It's called Awkward Singles Reject Each Other. I bet we're gonna write to that after this.
We go through a lot of struggle. We go through a lot of shit. But women like Pearl will utilize our pain, hurt, and struggle in our modern day society today without having true empathy for it and profit off of it. Guys, never in a million
if she really laughed at his cancer, that's fucked up.
years did I think
the craziest video I bet we gotta react to.
Would be the topic of conversation out of another man's mouth. But here we are. You understand me? Now, guys, listen, before we get started in the content here today, the first thing I want to say is shout out to the MT Army. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of the love, for all of the support.
Also, if you haven't,
it means the world to me to continue to make
we can do that
like
too. Yes, sir, Campaign. Yes, sir, we can do all that shit.
As strong as what it is. Secondly, shout out to all the content creators that have reached out to me behind the scenes with ideas.
Yeah, that was me and shit. Me and MTL was on FaceTime. Hey, me and MTL was on FaceTime, you know, bro. We talking, you know, chopping it like we always doing shit, bro.
Let me also say this, is that I've talked about this on my platform before, that this is not a beefing platform, but to say that I was a bit surprised that my condition was brought up on a platform that's supposed to support men or give advice for men in a joking or a trolling manner is the literal definition of hypocrisy, the literal definition of irony. But such is life. Now, to catch some people up, in the fall of 2021, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. Actually, I have a video up on the channel where a few hours removed of my diagnosis, I made a video speaking about what has happened and what will happen going into the future, after which I took about 30 days off to mentally collect myself as I was physically healing through this bout. It was without a doubt one of the most traumatic experiences that I've gone through within my life, and with anybody who's gone through a cancer diagnosis or anybody that has a family member or a loved one that has gone through cancer, you guys all know exactly what it is that I'm speaking about. I released that video because I had one goal in mind, and that goal was to save lives. Now, prior to me clicking publish on the I Have Cancer video, I knew that certain unscrupulous people on the internet, those that will troll to entertain themselves, or just haters in general, will stop at nothing to use information like that, especially information that they think that you're self-conscious about, to utilize that as ammunition, to weaponize that information against me. But through that, I chose to release that video because my goal is to help men. And if I have the opportunity to save lives, because I speak about something that's not given enough airtime within this society, then I absolutely will. And I would never take back that decision, especially after receiving email after email from people affected, from mothers and fathers saying thank you because of what you said and urging men to go get their physicals and their screenings.
I take a different type of man, bro. Like after you just got diagnosed with cancer and shit, bro, you come on the media and speak, bro. I take a different type of fucking strength and shit. Shout out to this nigga for sure, bro. And bro, and this nigga proven, bro, cancer, no matter what the condition is, bro, it's still possible, bro.
Saved my son's life. And my response to them is,
oh, he got a kid?
Had the opportunity, I would absolutely do it again. All of the hate that I have received, all of the people alleging that I've never had cancer, they can all kick rocks, because I want to deliver value to this world at the end of the day. Now, to everybody that's just like, yo, roast them up, bring them to the barbecue. I'm gonna let you guys know right now that this is not gonna be this type of video. Another person that I consulted with and I showed the original cringe video to was my pops. And ever since I was a little kid, I've always leveraged my pops on how to handle unique situations like this. And of course, he gave me the, when they go low, you go high. So he said, ignore it.
Vaseline that.
Don't even respond to it. But then I thought to myself that there's a lot of young men today that are dealing with bullies, they're dealing with enemies, they're dealing with opposition, and they don't know how to handle the situation, or they emotionally react to something instead of logically respond to it. So I want to bring you guys through my thought process of how I contextualize this situation to allow me to be happy, chipper, and just go on my day. So I'm gonna utilize this as a teaching lesson, as well as you guys to understand a little bit more about insights regarding me, because maybe I'm tripping, all right? Maybe this is just completely funny, ha, kiki. It's fair game to utilize shame and insults, and specifically a cancer diagnosis or laughing at a cancer diagnosis, in order to exact revenge upon our enemies, right? So in order to understand that, let's understand first the context of the situation.
Yeah, that's why I didn't judge it off the first preview, bro. I need some context.
The long
behind
story
this shit.
short version of the situational context. And it's as follows. Just Pearly Things does content with Nick Fuentes. I land in London a month later, unaware that this content was done, and did not watch the content before coming into London. I get back from London, the story blows up, and I slowly come to the realization of the gravity of said comments and decide to distance myself away from the Just Pearly Things network and platform. Now, before I drop my video entitled Holding Just Pearly Things Accountable, I called Pearl, had a conversation with her, and told her that I'm going to publicly distance myself away from her platform, as well as her offering to me to not air the footage of the Red Pill Bachelor. And let me also talk about this. The reason why I chose to do that is because people would still associate my brand towards her if future content was released on her platform. I never addressed that video again on my platform, and even live streams that I've had where people have asked me specific questions, I have chosen to not say a damn thing. I left her alone, I left her platform alone, and I continued to create the content that I wanted to create. But over a month later, I am now one nut, laugh, bringing up and making light of a man's bout with cancer seems like a disproportional response to me. There's gonna be a lot of people that will disagree with that, but I think that the majority of moral, sane, happy, value-added people, results-driven and oriented people on society would agree with me. So then I asked myself, well, why is the response so disproportional? And it's either A, they're just doing it for views. They're just doing it for clicks. They're doing it to just drum up some drama shit. Maybe the views are declining over there and this is what they got to do in order to stir shit up. Or B, they are genuinely very upset, mad, and angry that I have chosen to distance myself away from them from a platform or a business perspective. It's like she's more mad that I distanced myself away from the platform than I was mad at the doctor for throwing my right nut away. This shit kind of reminds me of some Modern Woman shit, like you break up with a girl and in response, she keys your goddamn car. So that's the contextual environmental situation that I think all men need to understand before responding to somebody. Because when I think of the environment, I just think of it's disproportional response.
I want to see the clip.
There must be an emotional factor that is playing into the way that they're choosing to do this.
Getting no views.
So after the environment and the background gets assessed, the next thing that you have to assess is the people within it. The first person that I'm going to talk about is Pearl's producer, the one that brought up the comment that said one nut. And guys, understand this, is that there is nothing that I've said on my platform in the 1,300 videos that I have on this channel about someone that I would not then say to their face. But men, understand this, it is not masculine behavior whatsoever to say things negatively about someone from the comfort of your monitor. And in fact, meeting her producer in person, he is the exact same type of person that I would expect to punch below the belt, no pun intended. Because certain types of men default to toxic feminine behaviors, such as being passive aggressive and throwing ad hominem attacks, doing sign language, shame and insulting. Because in reality, that man cannot compete with you by any degree and measure of masculinity in reality. So in reality, I think to myself, how could I ever be mad at this guy or anything that he would ever say about me, when in fact, I pity him? Once you transition in your mind why certain types of people would undercut or go so low, then it's super easy to remove any emotional baggage that you have towards the way that they treated you. And instead it goes into a logical state of pure apathy. Now on to Pearl for choosing to laugh at my particular situation. Pearl, I have nothing personal against you. I made a business decision because you've demonstrated recklessness. And the way that you've handled this situation on that live stream demonstrates exactly why it was a great idea to distance myself from you. Gentlemen, listen to me. Never judge a person, and especially a woman, off of when you up, when you good, when everything is peachy keen, when you got no issues in the world. You need to understand how this woman will treat you if shit just wasn't as good. If you're sick, if you're ill, if you lose your money, if you lose your assets, how will they treat you then? I think many men, especially in Western culture, need to do an experiment. And that experiment is take 3 weeks off of work, but tell your significant other that you got fired or that you quit. And see how they treat you weeks 2 and weeks 3. You cannot judge a person when times are good. You judge them
when times are hard.
And let me also say this. It's one thing to throw ad hominem attacks, which I, always tell you guys on the channel never to do. It's one thing to talk about someone's looks. Oh, look at his eyebrows. Look at his nose. Look at that big nose. Oh, look at his big lips. Look at that beard. It looks fake and shit like that. But it's another thing to talk about cancer and to follow up and laugh about it. I think it's completely sick. But she'll probably say things like, oh, I'm a bit awkward, guys. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. Guys, did you see the original video? It was taken completely out of context. And my response to that is that accountability is kryptonite for the modern woman today. They will never admit to doing wrong, and they will never apologize for their actions. That's why I tell you guys so often on this channel to judge women by not their words, but specifically their actions. Indulge me for a quick second. Let's just switch roles. Let's say that I had a live stream, and let's say I had a female host, and the female host brought up that Pearl is called one breast because she had a previous bout of breast cancer and had to get one of her breasts removed. And I laughed right after that. You know how quickly cancel culture would move in order to disband me from the internet? And my response to that is why is there not the same energy when it has to deal with a man? To have a platform where you say you support men, but to laugh at a man regarding his cancer struggle is like a corn star winning Virgin of the Year. It makes literally no sense. To end off, guys, as men in our society, we go through a lot of pain. We go through a lot of struggle. We go through a lot of shit. But women like Pearl will utilize our pain, hurt, and struggle in our modern day society today without having true empathy for it and profit off of it. To all the men out there, to all of the cancer survivors, to all of the family of cancer survivors, I take full accountability for previously working with the Just Pearly Things platform and network. I cannot change the past, but I'm going to do my best in selecting the best representatives of people to work with in the future. Or shit, maybe I just won't even do collabs at all in the future anymore. All right? Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do, me.
He handled that shit like a real man for real though, bro. He ain't throw no shots or no other shit, bro. He just let it know what it is, bro. And that's how men handle shit, bro. Think about it before you make a dumbass decision, an emotional decision, bro. The real niggas do.